So our page here is pretty plain, and I think we should add some images here to spice it up a little bit. And thankfully we have this directory called images, and in it we have 3 images for each one of our users, large, medium, and small. And we're going to use Express's ability to serve static files in order to do this pretty easily. So we're just going to say app.use, and then we're going to call express.static and give it the name of the directory that we want to serve static files from. So we're just going to tell it that images directory. So we're going to go over here and update our template. We're just going to add some styles in here. And then instead of creating an actual unordered list, we're just going to create a bunch of divs. We're going to create a div for each user. And within each one of those divs, we'll retain our link tag, but we're also going to add an image tag here. And for the source attribute, we're just going to use the same user.username property that we're using in the link. And then we're going to add the underscore sm.jpg extension so that when that file name gets built up, it's the username plus that. So if we go refresh the page, we can see that we do in fact have images. That looks a lot nicer. And you'll notice that we don't have any path information on our source attribute here. Since we have told it to serve the images directory, it's going to serve those directly without any sort of prefix. However, sometimes you may want to have a prefix so that you sort of know what it is, what directory you're reaching into, or maybe you want a more descriptive name. So in this case, we're going to add a directory path of profile pics. And what we can then do is just go over here to our app.use call and say app.use/profile pics, and then give it that images directory. So we're going to essentially tell Express, anytime you get a request for something in profile pics, go ahead and look in the images directory for that. So if we save both of those and go refresh, we can see that everything still works. Now that we have access to these images, let's go ahead and improve our user detail page. So let's take our index template and we'll save it out as user.hbs and just sort of repurpose that for our user detail page. We can get rid of the loop here. We're not going to be looping over users. And we'll just go with a plain username string here. We don't need to pull it off of an object. We'll use the larger picture, and then we'll change our header to be the username as well. We can get rid of this each. If we save that, and then we'll go back over here to our app file, and in our username route handler, we're just going to say response.render, and then we'll give it that username. And then we need to make sure we update the template name, save that. And so now if we click on one of these user links, you can see we have a nice profile page with a nice big image and their name up in the header.